If you do a social media search on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook of black women with white men, you will find a lot of stuff. You'll find a lot of couples enjoying themselves and a lot of women excited that white men are looking to date them.
Why did I get bagged by a white boy last night? And I'm actually kind of happy about it. I never allowed things like this to occur in my life, but he can get it. He can get it. He can get it.
And a lot of black women are excited about the experience. Sometimes dating in the black community can be redundant, so getting a new opportunity to date somebody else from another culture can bring a lot of excitement, cultural diversity, and another experience in dating. It can change you forever, but we'll talk about that very soon. One mechanism that people can get to know each other is on social media or dating apps. It makes it really easy for people who would never come across each other to get to know each other, especially for men, because men may not feel comfortable approaching a lady or vice versa. And this is the case of this young lady by the name of Sheryl Turner. She was on a particular text app when she met this particular guy. I won't mention who the guy's name is right now because, well, it's not that important. She met a guy and she ended up meeting up with the guy, and this happened.
Sheryl Turner was an outgoing 19-year-old from New Iberia who had the most contagious laugh. Now, her family says they'll never hear that laugh again after her body was pulled from a lake in northern Louisiana. I'm Anna Fisher, your Ouachita Parish reporter, and I sat down with Cheryl's father and her twin sister, who say they feel more supported by Ouachita Parish's law enforcement than their own.
She told me, I'm gonna see you, and I love you. And that's the last time I saw my daughter.
Michael Turner is the father of 19-year-old twins.
Cheryl, I don't even know how to describe how she was growing up.
Younger by 2 minutes, Sherry Turner says her older sister Cheryl was always the outgoing one of the family.
Cheryl was just outspoken. Once she got enough, she gonna say how she feel.
On December 31st, the family says Cheryl and her mother had gotten into an argument.
She put the key in the mailbox, packed up our clothes, and left.
According to Sherry, outbursts like these weren't uncommon for Cheryl to have. It wasn't until they lost communication.
It wasn't like her for all those days to not even message us, nothing.
That the family says they reached out to Iberia police, filing a missing persons report for Cheryl on January 3rd. According to the family, they experienced radio silence from New Iberia police after that.
Everything died down. It got quiet.
On January 24th, Sherry says she was contacted by a detective from Ouachita Parish.
He told me, he was like, I don't want to disarm you, I don't want you to be worried, but we found a body.
A fisherman on the Ouachita River had reportedly found a human torso floating in the water without anything else attached.
That was 2 months ago. We didn't know where she was. Somebody found her body. We didn't know who did it. Just 2 weeks ago, another news clip came out like this.
It's a case that law enforcement says they've never seen before. I'm Anna Fisher, your Ouachita Parish reporter, and I'm following up on the investigation of Sheryl Turner, a New Iberia woman whose body was found dismembered in a river hours away from her home. Back in February, I sat down with Cheryl's family after her body was identified by the Ouachita Sheriff's Department.
It went from us busting our head about if it was her or not to how did she go?
Now, a little over a month later, Detective Dwayne Littleton tells me information is slowly trickling in.
We have been reaching out to several of the social media platforms that the victim had been using, trying to identify who she's been in communications with and who all she had been talking to, and possibly identifying who she had went to stay with.
But now we have an update. We have an arrest for a guy by the name of Anthony Pierce Holland Jr. And guess what? He admitted to it. Now remember, the Text Now app is how they met. And again, she had family problems and with her mom and arguing, as you just heard. So he arranged to pick her up at her mother's house in New Iberia on January 1st. Then he returned to his home in Ouachita Parish. But what happened next was shocking. He said after he brought her to his home, he booty clapping sounds. He unalived her doing a sex act. After realizing she was deceased, he dismembered her remains, put it in bags, and dumped it in a tributary of the Ouachita River, along with the knives she used in all her possessions that she had with her. This sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Rewind! I covered a story about a young lady by the name of Shade Robinson, who was excited to go on a date with a white man, Maxwell Anderson. Here's what happened.
Court documents say Anderson and Robinson were meeting up for that first date on Monday, April 1st. They started at a Menominee Valley bar, the Twisted Fisherman, before heading over to Duke's on Water, which is in downtown Milwaukee. That phone is then traced to right here, Anderson's home at 39th in Oklahoma, and we know Robinson was never seen again. This new exclusive video appears to capture the moment investigators took Maxwell Anderson into custody near his home at 39th in Oklahoma, following a whirlwind investigation that started April 2nd.
If we can put the picture of Anthony Pierce Holland Jr. and Maxwell Anderson next to each other, it is clear to me one thing is going on. Both of these guys look deranged and demented. It is almost obvious. And I honestly believe because some of the young ladies, and both these young ladies are 18 or 19 years old, they believe that these guys are maybe Caucasian, that they are trustworthy. But this is one of the reasons why they're preying on these younger ladies, because they just don't know. And again, I will tell ladies and anybody in the black community, just because you feel like somebody is a race or one different race from you, that people are automatically trustworthy. Haven't we learned about what's going on with the whole Young Jeezy thing? Like, listen, that's how people get in. They feel like, oh, I'm white and you're black, and you probably would guess that these guys are probably poor. They probably don't have a lot of money. They probably don't have a lot of things going for them. They take advantage of the situation and they're sadistic. So now you have young ladies, in the black community who are losing their lives, and we keep hearing about things like this to these guys. I know what you're gonna say. Well, black men can also be black too. Yeah, that's true, right? We get that. But at the same time, I don't think that these women feel that these situations can happen with these guys. And it's happening on the first date. They're going to these guys' homes on the first date without knowing the guys, without understanding what's going to happen, anything. And they're just trusting these strangers, and bad things are happening to them. I honestly believe that, hey, if you're a sister and you're going to go out with somebody, you don't really know them, use your better judgment and try to go to a public place. Not saying it's going to save you, but do not go to someone's house, when you first go there. Also, tell people, look, I'm taking a picture of your license plate. I'm giving your license plate to this person. I don't know you. This is who I'm going with. So if they want to try something crazy, they might think twice about it. Not sure if it's going to help, but protect yourself. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all you just heard the bell. We're out.